Our planet is facing an unprecedented challenge: climate change. This phenomenon is not just a distant threat, it is a present reality that is reshaping our world in profound ways. We see its impact everywhere, from melting glaciers to extreme weather events. These changes are affecting ecosystems, economies, and communities globally. But there is another, less visible threat emerging: antibiotic resistance. This issue is quietly growing, often overshadowed by more immediate crises. This silent crisis threatens to undo decades of medical progress and plunge us into a post-antibiotic era. The advancements we have made in healthcare could be rendered useless. What many don't realize is that these two threats, climate change and antibiotic resistance, are intricately connected. They are not isolated issues, but are intertwined in ways that amplify their impacts. Antibiotic resistance is the ability of bacteria and other microbes to resist the effects of the drugs designed to kill them. This resistance develops through mutations and the misuse of antibiotics. This means that infections that were once easily treatable with antibiotics are becoming harder and sometimes impossible to cure. The consequences of this are dire for global health. This is a serious problem because antibiotics are essential for treating a wide range of infections, including pneumonia, tuberculosis, and sepsis. Without effective antibiotics, these diseases could become untreatable. Climate change is exacerbating the problem of antibiotic resistance in several ways. The changing climate creates conditions that favor the spread and evolution of resistant bacteria. As temperatures rise, bacteria can multiply more rapidly, increasing the likelihood of mutations that lead to resistance. Warmer climates can also extend the range of many pathogens. Furthermore, extreme weather events, such as floods and droughts, can contaminate water sources and spread resistant bacteria more widely. These events disrupt sanitation and healthcare infrastructure. We are facing a future where common infections could once again become deadly. This scenario is not just a possibility, but a looming reality if we do not take action. This is not a crisis for some distant future, it is happening now. The impacts are already being felt and the window for effective action is closing. We must act urgently to address both climate change and antibiotic resistance to safeguard the health of our planet and future generations. The time to act is now, before it is too late. The warming of our oceans and rivers is creating ideal breeding grounds for antibiotic-resistant bacteria. As water temperatures rise, bacteria multiply more rapidly. This rapid reproduction increases the chances of genetic mutations, some of which can lead to antibiotic resistance. These resistant bacteria can then spread rapidly through the water, infecting marine life and potentially reaching humans through the food chain. This is particularly concerning in areas with poor sanitation, where wastewater containing antibiotics and resistant bacteria can easily contaminate water sources. Climate change is causing more frequent and severe extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, and heat waves. These events can contribute to the spread of antibiotic resistance in several ways. Floods, for example, can overwhelm sewage systems and wash antibiotic residues and resistant bacteria from farms and hospitals into rivers and groundwater. Droughts, on the other hand, can concentrate antibiotics and resistant bacteria in shrinking water sources. These contaminated waters can then spread resistant bacteria to humans and animals, increasing the risk of infections that are difficult to treat. Antibiotic resistance is leading to the emergence of superbugs, bacteria that are resistant to multiple types of antibiotics, making them incredibly hard to eliminate. These superbugs pose a serious threat to global health security, as they can cause infections that are very difficult and sometimes impossible to treat, leading to prolonged illnesses and higher mortality rates. Climate change is contributing to the spread of superbugs by creating conditions that favor their growth and transmission, such as warmer temperatures and increased humidity. For example, warmer temperatures and changes in rainfall patterns can expand the geographic range of disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes, which can spread resistant bacteria to new populations, increasing the risk of outbreaks. The interconnected nature of our world means that superbugs can travel quickly across borders. making international collaboration and coordinated action crucial in combating this growing threat. Efforts must be intensified to develop new antibiotics and implement effective infection control measures. Section 5. A global health crisis. Antibiotic resistance is not just a problem for the future. It is a pressing global health crisis that affects us right now. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has identified antibiotic resistance as one of the biggest threats to global health, food security, and development today. This issue is escalating at an alarming rate. Without effective antibiotics, many standard medical procedures such as organ transplants, chemotherapy, and even minor surgeries become much riskier. The risk of infections during these procedures increases significantly. The WHO estimates that by the year 2050, antibiotic-resistant infections could claim 10 million lives each year if we do not take urgent action. This staggering number highlights the severity of the crisis. This crisis requires a global response involving coordinated efforts from all countries. We must work together to reduce the unnecessary use of antibiotics in humans, animals, and agriculture, and invest in the development of new antibiotics and alternative treatments. Collaborative efforts are essential to combat this growing threat. Section 6. The human factor. Human activities are at the heart of both climate change and antibiotic resistance. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial agriculture are major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions that drive climate change. Similarly, the overuse and misuse of antibiotics in human medicine, agriculture, and aquaculture are the main drivers of antibiotic resistance. The more we use antibiotics, the more we give bacteria the opportunity to develop resistance. We must address the root causes of these interconnected crises by transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. Section 7. The role of innovation. Innovation and technological advancements are crucial in tackling both climate change and antibiotic resistance. We need to invest in renewable energy technologies, develop climate-resilient infrastructure, and find ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from all sectors. At the same time, we need to accelerate the development of new antibiotics, alternative treatments, and rapid diagnostic tools to combat resistant infections. This requires increased funding for research and development, as well as collaboration between scientists, governments, and pharmaceutical companies. We also need to explore innovative approaches to prevent infections in the first place, such as vaccines, improved sanitation, and infection control measures. Section 8. The power of prevention. Prevention is always better than cure, and this holds true for both climate change and antibiotic resistance. By taking steps to mitigate climate change and reduce our reliance on antibiotics, we can prevent the emergence and spread of resistant bacteria. Simple actions can make a big difference. We can reduce our carbon footprint by using public transport, cycling, walking, and choosing energy-efficient appliances. We can conserve water, reduce waste, and support sustainable food systems. We can also practice good hygiene, such as regular hand washing, to prevent the spread of infections and reduce the need for antibiotics. Section 9. A call to action. The interconnected threats of climate change and antibiotic resistance demand immediate and collective action. We must act now to protect the health of our planet and future generations. Governments, policymakers, healthcare professionals, and individuals all have a role to play. We need strong policies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, promote sustainable practices, and combat antibiotic resistance. We need to raise awareness about the importance of climate action and responsible antibiotic use. We need to invest in research, innovation, and education. Section 10. Our shared future. The future of our planet and our health are inextricably linked. By addressing climate change and antibiotic resistance together, we can create a healthier, more sustainable future for all. Let us act with urgency and determination to protect the delicate balance of life on Earth and secure a future where everyone has access to effective healthcare. The time to act is now.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.